Hey there! Today we are going to talk about a subject often overlooked when learning English, but important nonetheless, determiners.
While not being famous as verbs or nouns, determiners are just as relevant when communicating in English. But what are they?
It's important to note that when it comes to word classification, different paths can be taken while still being correct. In this sense, we will call determiners some words that modify nouns.
You may think, for example, that the word green can modify a noun. You will be absolutely correct. However, it's an adjective. What's the difference between determiners and adjectives? Well, determiners don't describe nouns. Rather, they specify them.
Thinking about abstractly can be difficult, so examples are in order. Think about the difference between a man and the man. Articles such as a and the are determiners, so are demonstratives like this or those, possessive adjectives like my or her, enumerators such as one and first, and words indicating indefinite quantities like some or any. One could classify this kind of words separately, but they share one thing in common.
We can say shortly that determiners have two main functions, referring and quantifying. Some people take a more restrictive approach and say that determiners identify things, while quantifiers, well, they quantify things. However, the names are not the most important part, and the main part is understand their functions.
When thinking about determinants, maybe the most important thing are the articles. After all, the is the most common English word. Unlike other languages, it's used quite widely. It's the definitive article. The man, the woman, the dog, the pencil, all use the. It's important, it's simple when compared to Portuguese. In Portuguese, we have o, os, a, as.
However, some mistakes can be made in regarding articles, and unfortunately, they can sound really bad. Let's ensure they don't happen. The first thing to have in mind is that in speech, we can use definite articles, indefinite articles, no article, and words indicated indefinite quantities.
Let's think about some phrases. How would you fill the blanks? Phrase 1 can have both gaps filled with a or the. What's the difference in meaning? Well, a is an indefinite article, while the is definite. What does that mean, you may ask? Definite articles are used when the noun has been referenced before or the listener knows about it, like the president or the queen.
Indefinite articles, in its turn, are used when listeners doesn't know what's being talked about. Therefore, we can think of the two following phrases. I have a pen, the pen is blue. Firstly, the object is introduced using a. Then we use the, as the object was already known by the listener.
Let's think about our second phrase. Can we still use a? The answer is no, but why? Luckily for us, the reason is quite simple. The nouns used in phrase 2 are plural, which prevents the use of indefinite articles. So, what have we learned so far? Definite articles are used referring to plural and or nouns that are already known. Indefinite articles are used for a noun that is both singular and unknown to the listener.
What about our third phrase? Here we have
Uncountable.
Here we have an uncountable noun, happiness. This kind of words can be at first glance tricky for us Portuguese speakers, but they are quite simple to understand. As the name says, they can be counted. It's impossible to have two happiness. Tangible objects can also be uncountable, like water or bread. In order to count, we need the assistance of other nouns. For example, 2 pieces of bread and a glass of water. When facing uncountable nouns, most of the time, we cannot use articles, be they definite or indefinite. In most situations, we either use no article or use a word that indicates indefinite quantities, definite quantities. The man wants happiness, or the man wants some happiness.
One last note regarding the zero article must be made. Let's go back to phrase 2 and change the structure. There are blank books on the table. We may or may not use the depending on the meaning we want to express. If the noun is singular, we will have to use an article. It's not possible to say, there is book on the table. Great. So guys, this is what we had to say about determiners. We hope you like it. And some of the sources that we used to make this video are the Cambridge Dictionary, the grammar part, the British Council site, and also Collins Dictionary. They will be listed below. We also used the book Understanding Grammar by John Corbett and Christian J.K.
Yes, we know one of the authors and he's a great professor.
Well guys, thank you again. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.
Bye bye.